Well, I think the main message that we put across in the report is that sentiment seems to be weakening. We've seen oil prices very, very range-bound since roughly the middle to the later part of June, between $40 and $45 a barrel for Brent. But just recently, we've seen $40 a barrel tested. And it does look as if the rebound in recovery is beginning to stall, partly in Europe because of the COVID-19 resurgence you talked about. And on the supply side, we are seeing higher production from the members of the OPEC Plus agreement, which of course has been signaled well in advance. So at the moment, we have weakening sentiment on demand, we have rising supply. And it does look at the moment as if the stock draws that we were anticipating in the second half of the year, although they're still likely to occur, they're not going to be as great as we thought just a couple of months ago.
Do you want to get into the demand side? Because clearly what we're now seeing, the impacts of a second wave as a number of people come back from the summer holidays. We've seen a spike in infections, particularly in Europe. A lot of people still working from home despite urging from various governments for people to get back into offices. What are the impacts of these various elements as we've been living with COVID for a while, but that new normal of operating and no travel, of course, coming into the mix?
Well, of course, we're all learning as we go along here, because the impact of COVID was very, very dramatic in the early part of the year, particularly in April and May, as far as global oil demand is concerned. We saw demand in April down 22 million barrels a day on a year before. Since lockdowns were eased in Europe and in many other parts of the world, we have seen demand start to recover. And although nobody really expects that national lockdowns are going to be reimposed, we are seeing localized measures introduced in many, many different countries. We are seeing, as you said in your preamble, lots of people still working from home. People that are going to work are reluctant to use public transport. So there is still a very, very fragile sentiment out there. And, you know, as I said, we are learning as we're going along. The upsurge of cases that we're seeing here in Europe in particular is a cause for concern, and it does look as if we're not out of the woods yet.